Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Guys, I got one. Nordic Dots. Is it going to be the black or the gray? Stay tuned. Tag partner!
Oh gosh!
Oh, Coach Goo just did a tweener on the Fast Track Tennis. You can get your tweener on the Fast Track Tennis too. 365 days a year. Discount code is below. Get your Fast Track on today. All right, so my friends at NordicDots hooked me up with their racket. That's been very, very popular, as you guys might know. Ooh, check that out. Quilted white bag with some cool straps there. This is strapped together. We just pull that apart. It's okay. I'll deal with that later. I just want so excited to see the racket. Oh, it's the black one. Check it out, Model 99. Wow, that is so cool. So 99 square inches, 16 by 20, 300 plus or minus 5, 318 millimeters plus or minus 5. Wow, look at that shape. Reminds one of the Japanese brand. But no, this is NordicDots. We are cool. So check this out. 300 weight, 318 on the balance, as it says right there. Obviously, that is unstrung. Interesting. I know nothing about this. I know everybody has bought one already because they are literally sold out. I'm happy to get one. And that's very cool. So you know what I'm going to do? I really want to string this up right now and test it out. So they hooked me up with some overgrip, and they hooked me up with my favorite string, the TS127 from them. So I'm going to get stringing so I can get playing. Okay, so I just finished stringing it up. Very, very glossy black finish, which I love. Very, very tasteful. Clean look with the NordicDots name there. Model 99 on just one side, nothing on this side. Take a look at these strings though. It's nice and tightly strung here, so it's dense right in this area. It opens up right around here. I guess we're not supposed to hit it here. So they're designating the sweet spot for you, which is going to be in this area. So it looks dense, almost like an 1820 pattern right here. And then it opens up here. So I'm guessing if you hit it here, you're going to get a little more spring, allowing you to have more maybe chance for spin. Not sure how much spin you're going to get hitting it here, but maybe a little bit more spring to get the ball over. But definitely this racket has kind of defined your sweet spot, which is going to be right up here. So let's see how this goes. Like a lot of people have already told me, check out the strings, check out the strings. Well, I am finally looking at it right now. Right, Andy? He's like, yeah, check out those strings. I'm like, okay. This is a 3/8. So because it is a 3/8, I am not going to put an overgrip on it. But I'm definitely going to go play with it right now. Stay tuned. All right, just got off the court. First impressions, Nordic Dot Model 99. Coach, you can go first.
Okay. I've never played with a NordicDots racket, and I never knew that they existed until now. I think, yeah, hitting with this, I can see where they're trying to go and try to compete with some of the modern rackets that you see right now on the shelf. I think this one definitely has a place to be up there for those who, I think you get a lot of power from this racket, that's for sure. So those who are a little bit of aggressive baseliners, this would be a really good racket to hit. It's pretty forgiving. I did notice that they started to move kind of the sweet spot a little bit higher up here versus in the middle a bit more, and maybe it has to do with the way that they've made this racket to be a little bit more
squarish.
Yeah, squarish.
Squarish, oval.
But I feel like it's a little wider here. I don't know. So they're trying something different, and I think NordicDots is pretty innovative in that sense. Yeah, it does feel like a player's racket. 1620, different in terms of the string pattern than what I've seen. Normally 1619 on these types of rackets. So you do definitely got a lot bit more control. But I feel like for this type of model, you definitely get more power. So I would recommend this for part of the advanced people, you know, maybe a bit more above the club, but this would be a good one for you to play with, to compete with. So yeah.
No, thank you. You hit well with it, actually. I was, you know, you hit a flat ball well. Your spin was great with it, even though it was tighter on the top. You had great control with it. You controlled the depth very well. You controlled your spin very well with it too. I, on the other hand, love this racket. I was like, oh crap. It felt very familiar. I can't put my finger on it yet, but it feels like something I've liked in the past, but I'm not sure what it is yet because I've been around for too long and played with so many rackets, but it felt great in a familiar way. It felt kind of like home, like something I would reach for if I needed to play with a racket. This would be it. Good power, good feel, just kind of like knife through butter. Yeah, no, I'm definitely a fan of this, and I thought they did a really good job with the design. The way it felt was great. It wasn't muted at all. It definitely gave me great feedback when I hit it correctly. I didn't feel like I really hit it incorrectly today, except for maybe once when I framed it because I didn't really want to run. So, but yes, this definitely a winner by NordicDots. I am going to take this around to other coaches too, just to see what they think. But Coach Chris was the first one, and we'll thank Coach Chris right now for testing out their NordicDots with me. Where can I find you, Chris?
You can find me at CB Chan Tennis.
And
that's
it. All right, guys, more coaches to come. All right, Coach Goo just got off with the NordicDots.
Yeah.
99.
I know.
What'd you think?
Felt great. I mean, this is their first racket, right?
Yes.
So first racket, honestly, great first racket for them to produce because it reminded me very similar to a Yonex 95, the current edition one, because just how flexy it was and how you could feel your shot, you could feel the sweet spot really striking through, and provided a great feedback on control and precision. I think this racket is targeted for people that love precision and with that extra little bit of spin if necessary. I believe the sweet spot, because it's a 99, the sweet spot does go a little bigger, and it does feel pretty flexy all the way around. The one thing I was a little confused about was how it flexed in the beginning. It's a little different from a Yonex, so I had to get used to that. But other than that, it flexed. Like when you got the understanding of how it flexed, how it worked, how it felt on those sweet spots, you can hit a pretty darn good ball off of it. I was expecting it to be actually less.
Look at the dents, and then look at the open.
Yeah.
Right? Dents are up here.
Yeah, dents are there and open there. And it really felt good. I mean, like I said, it's such a unique racket, in my opinion. When I looked at the shape, I was like, this is not a Yonex. This is definitely a little different. And I could see why. Like, especially the denser parts felt like you could plow through a little easier. And if you needed a little more access to spin, you just had to lower it down, and all of a sudden you got that nice spin reaction you needed. So it's definitely something to try out if you are if you love precision rackets, like a Pro Staff or Blade or Prestige or a 95 V-Core. Or even V-Core, what is it? Is it called Percept now? Yeah, Percept.
V-Core Pro, yeah.
V-Core Pro,
the new one's called Percept. Yep.
Percept, yeah. Or if you're before that time, V-Core Pro. I would highly recommend trying it out. It's a new experience, of course, but I would say it's a fun one for sure.
So what Goo's referring to is a Yonex V-Core 95, the red one, or the beige one now that they've come out with. Yeah. It's a super comfortable racket that feels kind of like home. It's something that like you just get everything. Feel, good power,
great spin
nice
too.
Ball pocketing and spin. And it just kind of feels comfortable in your hand, just like this one. Like off the bat, I felt comfortable again with it. It felt like something familiar to me. Yeah. Doesn't it feel like something familiar to you?
Yeah, I would say it's like, it doesn't need that break-in feel that most rackets, especially with new rackets you play with, you need to break in and understand. And that's with me and Babolat, like every Babolat racket they produced, especially with the junior me. I used to use what they call Pure Aero. It used to be called the Aero Pro, and they used to always change it, and I had to break it in and understand how to play with it. But when you started swinging with it and playing with it, you're like, okay, there's some things that like feel really familiar to me that I can definitely feel comfortable swinging through, and it rewards you for it. So, like I said, it's a racket that everyone can get in, and when you start, the break-in period doesn't take that long. I think that's what I like to call it. The break-in period doesn't take too long.
Immediate, almost, to me, actually. So I would say intermediate to advanced.
I would say, yeah. I mean, intermediate, like maybe a 4.0, I would say 4.5 to onwards, because it's just that 1620 does feel, when you haven't used a 1620 racket, it does feel a little different in the beginning, so the playability needs to be a little more precise. But other than that, like when you get used to this racket, you'll pretty much enjoy it.
Right.
And I heard it's sold out now.
It's gone. Oh. Well, I think they're back now, maybe.
Maybe they're back now.
Maybe. Check now.
Check now. But yeah, if you guys really want to try this out, I highly recommend trying it out. You definitely will like the experience of playing with it.
Yep. No, this is my second hit with it with you, and I feel like I had the longest rally with you today with this. I feel like it was like 30 or 40 balls.
Oh, good job, bud.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
That's a feat for me, okay? And this felt great the whole way, no matter what I was doing. Like the garbage shots, hitting through, more garbage shots, throwing out the garbage. It all felt great. So I'm going to take it to another coach and see how they like it. Coach Goo, thank you testing out the NordicDots Model 99 with me.
Of course.
Where can we find you?
You can find me at ag.tennis. I'll also be posting content there as well.
All right. So the NordicDots Model 99 continues. See you with the next coach. All right, so Coach Jerod is the one now, that's the last one to try the Nordic Dots. What'd you think of it?
First things first, I have to say I love the paint job. Anything that is all black or just all white or any just basic color is usually a very nice looking racket. And you know, they also put our favorite glossy paint on it, so it's shining super nice out in the dark sky. But yeah, this racket kind of took an adjustment period for me. I think, as you guys know, I switched to the Pure Drive 98, so I think I'm used to more of a stiffer feel with a little bit more feedback on the frame itself. The first 5 minutes or first 10 minutes was a little bit tough for me to kind of get dialed in with this stick. It's super soft, I will say that. And, you know, for me, I was kind of expecting a ton of pop because as you guys can see, the beam is actually super thick. So I was kind of expecting a lot of power, you know, kind of a lot of feedback and just, you know, easy depth with the shots. But actually, it's kind of the opposite. The racket is kind of on the lower powered end, in my opinion. As we talked about, kind of the strings are a little bit more dense on the top and open up towards the bottom. For me personally, I kind of hit the ball more towards the top, which is why my forehand's a little more whippy and generates more spin. But as the play test went on, as you locate that sweet spot and as soon as you hit the ball a little bit lower on the string bed, it does kind of, you know, open up pretty nicely for the racket itself.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, NordicDots has been very good with all their strings, and you know, this racket was definitely much anticipated. And for me, I think it definitely hit a lot of good qualities, but at the same time, just for me personally and how my game is at the moment, I don't think it really fit my style. But if anyone's kind of looking out for like a new kind of 99 square inch head size racket, you definitely have like, you know, I think the only one that's out there is probably just the Shift, in my opinion.
That's it.
This is a good comparison. It's a little bit softer, a little bit more plush if you can find that sweet spot. And yeah, it's one of those brands that's not, you know, fully known, and it's just nice to kind of have something different than, you know, what everyone else is using. But yeah, super fun play test, and just excited to finally hit this one because everyone's been talking about it.
Yeah.
So
the quality is definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
I love the weird thing is, so this is the third time I'm hitting with it now, and I feel like I found the sweet spot immediately every time. But the weird thing is, like, when I first hit with it, I felt a ton of power, and that was a fresh string drop. The second one, I lost a little bit of power, and then now it's like I lost a little bit more power.
Weird.
So yeah, I'm not sure what was going on, but I felt like I was finding the sweet spot easily. It was easy to spin the ball. I was setting the path, and it was going through real smoothly. I was able to actually, you know, dial up the flat shot and dial up the backhand slice pretty easily with it too. I could whip that backhand. The one thing is, it's not lacking in speed. That was the one thing. Yeah, it came and it cut through the air real nicely. Yeah. Yeah. And I love feeling the gloss.
guys, this looks super nice, by the way. And like, I don't know if you can catch on the video, it looks super nice in person.
Yeah, look at it in the light. It kind of shines on the gloss.
Super nice paint job.
And I love touching it like that, you know, with my left hand, and having the flat beam, not like round or anything. So that's actually where the flex, I think, is coming from, because it's more of a flat beam here and it's thin. All three coaches said it's soft off the bat. And I was like, really? It's thick though. And you know, Coach Jerod was the same way. It's soft. I was like, okay. I actually thought it felt the opposite, but you know, what do I know? Right. But I liked it a lot. If you guys are in for, you know, black gloss, kind of squarish frame, good control, nice flex, but speed, definitely speed through the air. Try this out, guys. NordicDots, I thought you guys did a great job. Model 99 in black. Comes in beige too. Coach Jerod, thank you so much for testing this out with me. Where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at MonTennis, and follow my joint Instagram at KJ Tennis.
All right. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.